People often say that the average millionaire diversifies their income into about 7 different sources, in contrast to most people who rely solely on their job income, leaving them vulnerable to financial instability. Analyzing the habits of millionaires, we can observe a pattern of multiple income streams. However, not all income is equal. It varies in terms of activity level, passiveness, taxation, and leveraging potential. Today, let's check out the 7 main ways most millionaires make money, and the 6th will surprise you. Before we proceed, leave your comment on this video. I will achieve financial freedom. When I see your comment, I'll leave a heart, because I know you'll reach your goal soon. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated with all the news. The first and most common source of income is salary income. This includes money earned from jobs, from regular workers to top executives like CEOs. Many CEOs remain employed by their respective companies. Professionals like doctors and nurses also fall into this category. Salary income is acquired by exchanging time for money, commonly called active income. This category can also include freelancers. For many self-made millionaires, salary income serves as the first step. It's where most people start and can be a solid foundation, especially if it allows you to sustain yourself and your family. But it's risky to rely solely on this type of income, as it means trading time for money, and time is limited, with only 24 hours in a day. Like everyone else, there's an inherent limit to how much can be earned in this category. Additionally, salary income is subject to high tax rates, sometimes reaching up to 40% of earnings, depending on income levels. While it's an admirable starting point, it's crucial to explore other available income avenues. The second source of income is profit income. This refers to income generated by selling goods or services at a higher price than the cost of production or acquisition. It's a transition from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur. In the past, starting a business required a lot of money for manufacturing or buying things, but now, with the internet, it's much easier to start without needing as much capital. Whether selling physical or digital goods, if the selling price exceeds the cost of production or acquisition, it generates profit income. This type of income can be active or passive, depending on the business model. Engaging in manual product creation and sales leans toward active income and may present scalability challenges. On the other hand, outsourcing manufacturing or focusing on digital products opens doors to passive income. Profit income potential can be categorized into 2 formats: small-scale individual ventures and highly scalable businesses. The former involves personal creation or manual resale of products, like on platforms such as eBay or Facebook Marketplace, offering an accessible route for supplementary income. In contrast, scalable profit income arises from establishing a business and outsourcing production, freeing up time for strategic functions like sales and marketing. Taxation varies between these 2 types of profit income. Individuals involved in small-scale resale or product creation typically face taxation similar to salary income. On the other hand, establishing a business entity can unlock numerous tax advantages, with the possibility of leveraging corporate structures for tax optimization. The third category of income is interest income. Interest income is generated by earning interest on lent funds. But it's usually not a good idea to lend money to friends or acquaintances. Instead, interest income is generally acquired through safer investment avenues, such as depositing funds in a bank CD, purchasing corporate bonds, or acquiring government bonds. While these methods offer stability, they usually yield modest returns, ranging from 1% to 4% annually. On the other hand, there may be more innovative, though riskier, approaches to pursuing higher returns. Interest income is considered passive, as it typically requires minimal active involvement from the investor. The fourth is dividend income. Dividend income arises from investments in stocks that distribute a portion of their profits to shareholders. When you purchase shares of a company, you become a shareholder. Typically quarterly, the company distributes part of its profits to shareholders in the form of dividends. As a shareholder, you own a part of the company and are entitled to a share of its profits. The tax rate on dividend income varies depending on your classification. Qualified dividends may be subject to a lower tax rate. Individuals earning less than $600 may incur a 0% rate on their dividend income, with the rate increasing to a maximum of 20% for those earning over $425,000. This rate is notably lower than the tax rate on salary income, which can reach 40%. Number 5, rental income. Rental income usually involves acquiring properties and leasing them to tenants. However, this is not limited to residential properties. It can include commercial properties leased to businesses or industrial properties leased to manufacturers. Additionally, rental income is not limited to real estate. There are alternative methods to generate rental income on a smaller scale. For example, individuals can rent equipment to various industries, their vehicles, musical instruments, and so on. Essentially, rental income refers to any revenue generated by providing property to another person in exchange for payment. Number 6, residual and royalty income. This type of income is about getting paid even after finishing the main work. It can come from things like being in a movie that people still watch, writing a book that keeps selling, or currently having a YouTube channel that people continue to watch. Royalty income represents a form of residual income obtained by allowing others to use your ideas or properties to make a profit, such as musical or literary works. For example, musicians allow streaming services and record labels to distribute and sell their creations, earning royalties every time their songs are played or sold. Similarly, authors receive royalties when publishers print and distribute their books, continuing to earn as long as sales persist. Additionally, various royalty sources can arise from a single creation. A notable example is author J.K. Rowling, who not only earns royalties from book sales, but also from adaptations of her work into films and merchandise featuring her characters. Even 2 decades after the release of the first Harry Potter book, Rowling continues to receive royalties whenever individuals purchase merchandise, watch films, or buy the books, as these products derive from her original creation. Number 7, capital gains. Capital gains income arises when an appreciated asset is sold. While real estate and stocks are the most common examples, numerous other assets can generate capital gains. For example, if you bought a property for $100,000 and sold it for $150,000, you would have realized a capital gain of $50,000. Similarly, acquiring 100 shares of a company for $20 per share and selling them for $120 each would result in a capital gain of $10,000. It's essential to distinguish capital gains income from profit income. The former does not involve buying or producing goods for resale at a profit. Instead, it involves assets whose market value has appreciated over time. While individuals have limited control over this value increase, capital gains enjoy favorable tax treatment compared to most other types of income, with capital gains tax rates ranging between 15% and 20%, with the possibility of reducing to 0%. Particularly in real estate transactions. In many cases, reinvesting real estate capital gains back into the market can allow for tax-free growth, enabling individuals to increase their net worth without incurring taxes. Many people are driven by the desire to become wealthy. However, many still struggle to find real success and wealth. Let's talk about practical methods and behaviors widely adopted by successful individuals to achieve wealth. If you're enjoying the content so far, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for more amazing content like this. One fundamental practice that differentiates rich people from most is maintaining a comprehensive money tracking system. If I wanted to know how much you spent last month, would you be able to provide all the details? Can you say how you divide your income, such as what percentage goes to bills, savings, leisure, and investments? It's hard to improve your finances if you don't know where your money goes. Cultivating the skill to meticulously track every penny under your control not only facilitates effective management of current finances, but also empowers you to make smarter decisions with larger amounts in the future. The first step in tracking your money is categorizing all your expenses into three main groups. First, income. This includes the money you earn in a month from your job, side gigs, or any other source. Second, living expenses. This number is super important. It's all the monthly spending on things you absolutely need to survive, like rent or mortgage payment, electricity and water bills, and grocery shopping. While these costs usually remain almost the same each month, many people don't realize how much they actually spend on these things. Third, other expenses. This is for fun things you might choose to buy, like subscriptions, daily coffees, or any extras you don't need to survive. Grouping your spending makes it easier to track your money. That way, you'll see exactly how much you earn, what you need for bills and groceries, and what's left for fun things. With this understanding, you'll be able to make more informed financial decisions. Saving money can be tough, but there are some strategies that can make it easier. One effective approach is to automate your savings. Many banking institutions offer the option to schedule transfers from your main account, where your income is deposited, to your savings account immediately after receiving your paycheck. By doing this, a portion of your earnings is saved before any expenses are deducted, requiring minimal effort on your part. This automated system helps prevent overspending, as the funds are allocated to savings without conscious intervention. Another way to avoid spending your savings is to keep them in a separate bank account, which doesn't have a debit card or connection to your checking account. This way, your savings won't be as tempting to use for everyday purchases. Keeping the money in a separate account and without a debit card makes it harder to access. This can help you save more, as you won't be as tempted to spend it easily. Indeed, there are two main ways to save more money: cutting expenses to free up extra cash, or finding ways to earn more to have more to save. However, accumulating savings is just the initial phase of wealth building. Having a lot of money in the bank doesn't always mean you're rich. There's a difference between liquid money and wealth. Let's say you have $1 million. Would you prefer to keep it all in cash or invest it in things like real estate or successful businesses? The rich usually prefer the latter option. Money retains its nominal value over time, so if you stash away $1 million in cash, its value remains constant over the years, discounting the impact of inflation, which gradually decreases the purchasing power of the currency. On the other hand, investing $1 million in real estate or reputable companies can yield exponential growth in value over the same period. Warren Buffett likes to say that the best way to use your money is to invest it in things that will grow over time. He believes in reinvesting money into investments rather than just keeping it in cash. That's why rich people often invest their savings in things that earn them more money. This way, their money continues to grow over time. As we emphasized earlier, saving represents only the initial phase in wealth accumulation. Rich people don't save money just to accumulate a pile of cash. They use their savings to invest and grow their wealth over time. Once you've established a good saving habit, you can start thinking about how to invest that money to make it grow even faster. Consider the dynamics of the board game Monopoly. Success doesn't depend on accumulating money, but on acquiring properties that generate continuous income streams. It's not enough to accumulate money. The goal is to convert it into assets that produce wealth in the long run. People who invest in things like real estate usually end up with more money. Let's say you have the option to stash away money or buy something that brings you returns. What would you choose? Rich people prefer to invest their money in things that generate more money on their own, like rental properties or dividend-paying stocks. This way, the money works for them instead of them having to work for it. This shows what's really important to them when it comes to building wealth. Using money to buy or create things that generate more money. It's also interesting that many rich people don't spend all the money they earn. They live below their financial means. You might think that rich people would spend all their money, but many of them live below their means. This is especially true when they're starting to build their wealth. If you observe the people who have become very rich in the past decade or so, you'll see a pattern. They tend to live frugally, even when they earn a lot of money. Even if they were earning a lot of money, they didn't spend it all on expensive things like luxury cars or big mansions. Despite earning 6 or even 7-figure incomes, some people can't resist spending a lot of money on expensive things and end up broke. But people who want to become very rich aren't just thinking about spending a lot of money. Their focus goes beyond accumulating a few million. They aim for huge fortunes. Consequently, many of them, even with comfortable incomes, maintain modest spending habits, similar to ordinary people. Now that we're talking about keeping track of your money, saving it, and using it to buy things that generate more money, there's one important thing rich people do to keep their wealth forever. This trick allows them to spend money on expensive things without worrying about running out of money. The big difference lies in how they use the money. Instead of spending all their savings, the initial capital, they spend only the extra money they earn, the residual income. Initially, most people rely on active income, which is earnings derived from their time and effort. However, by investing in income-generating assets, they start generating passive income, which constitutes the cash flow generated by these assets. The key to becoming very rich is to spend only the passive income generated by your assets. This way, you can preserve your hard-earned capital. It's like planting a tree. Some people might just eat the seeds right away, but rich people plant the seeds first. Then, they eat only the fruits the tree produces, not the seeds themselves. This way, the tree continues to produce more fruits for them forever. Even though some rich people still run businesses and make money that way, they use that money to invest in more things. They spend only the money their investments generate for themselves, like on vacations or nice things. By following this rule, they always have extra money coming in, so they can buy expensive things without worrying about running out of money in the long run. Now, what's the practical step you can take to start your journey towards wealth? As mentioned earlier, to start investing, you must first save. And to save effectively, you'll need to cut your expenses or increase your income. Once you've managed to reduce your expenses, the best initial step is to focus on increasing your monthly earnings. The higher your income, the more resources you'll have to plant the seeds of your financial growth.